Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to talk about Ignis. Ignis was released a few days ago in the global version of Dissidia Opera Omnia along with Zax EX Plus, which is not what we're going to be talking about today. Today we're going to take a closer look at Ignis and his seemingly a complicated kit, and I'll try my best to deliver a more simplified version of him. What you need to understand first is that Ignis is a stance character, which means it can be very versatile and adapt to your party needs at any given time. We're gonna go over his skills in order to get familiar with the buffs he gets from each skill. First skill is Regroup. Regroup is a group heal which gets stronger with more initial brave and batteries a party for 50% of the maximum party HP put together. Ignis gets a 50 turn buff called First Aid Kit, which is an aura that raises party's attack and max brave. This ability has an instant turn rate and does not increase the turn count, much like Tifa's battle cry. Because this ability has only 4 uses, you want to use it whenever you take a big AoE HP damage from a boss, or if you're certain that the stage doesn't have any phases where you need to heal the party up immediately, you can use Regroup in order to get the small aura going, because the values of the max brave and attack is not that relevant in this stage of the game. But it's good to have, nevertheless. Quick Recipe batters a party based on a percentage of Ignis max brave, and like Regroup is also an instant turn rate as well, but it does increase the turn count, unlike Regroup, which means Quick Recipe also charges your EX as well. This skill gives Ignis a 7 turn buff called Ambrosia, which raises his own initial brave and attack. Every time you use Quick Recipe, you are given the choice of entering one of Ignis' stances, which for the purposes of this video we're gonna call them offensive stance and defensive stance. The way you choose which stance you want to use is either by using Ignis' Brave attack or his HP attack. I'm not gonna call each of these abilities by their names because it's just gonna confuse people even more, so I'm still gonna call them Brave attack and HP attack, no matter what their names changes to. I'm gonna give you an example on changing stances in battle right now. So I'm using Brave attack. This means Ignis is in his defensive stance. If I use Quick Recipe again, I get the choice of entering defensive stance again, or I can choose to enter offensive stance if I choose his HP attack. Keep in mind that each stance cancel each other out, so if you are in the defensive stance and you choose his HP attack, he's gonna cancel out that stance and go into his offensive stance. Good so far? Okay, let's move on. Now let's go over his attacks while being in each form. His Brave attack while in his defensive form becomes a straight dot battery based on his initial brave, much like Charlotta's Brave attack. Now his HP attack is where all the money is, because he batteries himself based on his initial brave and then delivers an HP attack which then batteries a party based on how much damage he dealt. 50% to be accurate. His Brave attack while being in his offensive stance is a 2-hit Brave attack which batters a party based on Ignis max brave, while his HP attack is a 2-hit brave plus HP attack which also batters a party based on his max brave. Both of these skills battery values, as you saw, are much lower than what he provides while being in his defensive stance. After playing with Ignis in many different stages, I found that his defensive stance is the most beneficial for him. He gives the party an HP regen aura and also a debuff evasion aura, much like Selfie's wall. Not to mention that both his brave and his HP attacks become strong batteries for the party. In his offensive stance, Ignis gives the party an increased overflow limit aura, and he also raises the party's attack. But the problem with this stance is that both his brave and his HP attacks become high turn rate, which means Ignis will be faster than usual, which also results in him burning his buffs a lot faster. And you don't want to do that, because you need him to maintain his buffs as much as possible, especially in a long fight. Now finally his CX skill. It batters a party based on your max brave and moves both allies to act immediately after Ignis, no matter where they are in the turn order, with the targeted ally acting first. Ignis then delivers a single target HP attack for each alive party member while using their current brave values as damage, exactly like Charlotte's crystal regeneration. This is very useful with units like King or the soon released Aranea, where you want both units to keep breaking the targets so they get consecutive free turns. As you can see, my King play is going to act after both of the monsters, but if I target him, he's going immediately after King. And this gives him a chance to break the target. Do not count that as an example. Now, after covering everything that Ignis can do, what I want you to take from this guide is that Ignis is a very versatile support that benefits from both initial brave and max brave, depending on which stance you're using. The big difference between a 0 out of 3 limit breaks EX plus and a fully limit break one is that Ignis will start the stage with his regroup and quick recipe buffs, which means you get basically one free skill out of each one, because you already start with their buffs, which is really huge for regroup that has really low uses. I think Ignis is a character that can be used with just realizing his EX weapon and not investing any ingots in it. I didn't go over the details of what each of his brave or HP attacks do, because it would get more confusing and people can actually hover over the abilities and see what they actually do. What this video was about was to show you how exactly Ignis plays and when to use each of his stances. You want to use his offensive stance probably only at the last stages of each fight, where you want to push for that kill and you have enough skill uses and you don't care if Ignis burns through his buffs quickly. But I found that his defensive stance will be much more valuable in most cases, because his batteries are a lot stronger and you basically feel safer with Ignis in the party when he's using his defensive stance. Also, another strong point is that Ignis benefits from his initial brave values when he's playing defensively, but he benefits from his max brave values when he's playing offensively. So get as much initial brave and max brave as you can on him, with a little bit leaning towards initial brave, because as I said, you're gonna have him playing defensively most of the time, and when he's playing defensively, his battery values are based off his initial brave. So I'm not sure if there was anything else that I had to mention for Ignis. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and consider liking this video, commenting anything you want, and maybe subscribing. I'm gonna see you tomorrow when we are polling for Global First Arena. Take care, guys. See ya.